in here. What's up? You. Don't push him, man. Let's go, man.
What's up, guys? It's your boy, Benny. The best possible result you can have in the culture war is when two evil forces fight each other, because you are guaranteed an amazing outcome, and that is happening right now with Disney and the Dwarves and the Dinklage. Peter Dinklage, to be exact, as the images of the new politically woke Snow White and the 7 politically correct comparisons come out. You saw these images leaked. Oh my God. What the fuck? What is this? What are these guys? Is this a band from the 1970s that everyone played tambourine and they all had herpes? What is this? Are these people about to go rob a soy coffee shop in Williamsburg or Brooklyn? This is the set photo from the new Snow White. Oh, man. Oh, look at this. You're going to love this. Okay, so why do the 7 dwarves, why does Snow White and the 7 dwarves look like such hot garbage? Well, the answer, my friend, is politics. That's right. Woke politics. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. I think I saw this guy on my last trip to San Francisco. He was sleeping, spooning a fire hydrant, and he had a needle in his. These people, they destroy everything. So this is the new 7 dwarfs. There seems to be only one little person among them. There seems to be no dwarves, as it were, among them, and that is because Peter Dinklage is a garbage person. Peter Dinklage is a famous actor, a famous little person actor, and he says that Snow White and the live action casting is hypocritical because of the dwarf characters. So Peter Dinklage screamed and raged and rampaged about other people of his size and stature getting jobs in Hollywood. He can be the only person that gets the job in Hollywood. No one else is allowed to. And man, it's amazing because the community of people who are, I guess small person is the politically correct term. That's what I see printed everywhere, so I'm going to go with it. Small people are now turning on Peter Dinklage, and it is glorious. Glorious. Check out this car rant from Tammy, who is a little person, and her reaction to the Snow White and the 7 politically correct, hairy hipsters, smelly baristas. It is hot stuff.
6 of the 7 dwarves are tall men. One token little person. Thank you. Is this their woke spin on things? Because I don't get it. I really don't. Because it really sucks when they're the ones screaming the loudest about inclusion, and then they pull this stunt. So everybody can be included, except the little people. I mean, but we did give you that token, little person. Thanks. But I think you kind of missed your mark. I won't be seeing this movie.
Oh man, you can't. If you try to please everyone, you'll end up pleasing nobody. Go ask Bud Light. Wee Man, very famous individual from the Jack series, is ripping Disney to shreds for not casting actual little people as dwarves. This is, of course, some of the most famous roles for a little person would be Snow White and the 7 Dwarves. It was the first Academy Award-winning Best Picture animated short. They even made a statue for the Academy Award and then 12 little Oscars. And 7 little Oscars for Walt Disney when he got the award. Listen to Wee Man.
Jobs that people could have as little people. Okay. Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs, it's for dwarfs. Why are you hiring Snow White and the 7 average people? They want to make it right. They redo the movie and they recast. Okay. Sometimes they have to lose. They lost it then. And now they got to come back better. Make it better, Disney.
Ooh, you got to redo the movie. Uh-oh. Wee Man versus Peter Dinklage. I would pay to see it. What did Peter Dinklage say, by the way? This is important. Let's go ahead and read his words from a podcast that he was doing. Peter Dinklage and this guy named Mark Maron on the WTF podcast. Okay, cool. The guy's apparently a comedian. They were talking about wokeness. And they were talking about evolving and wokeness and standards in society. Okay, whatever. But Peter Dinklage then snapped talking about Snow White. Well, if you're going to be really progressive to cast, literally no offense to anyone, but I was a little taken aback by when they were proud to cast a Latino actress as Snow White. But you're still telling a story of Snow White and 7 dwarves? Take a step back and look at what you're doing there, Peter Dinklage continues. Cretinous little man. It makes no sense to me because you're progressive in one way and you're still making an effing backward story about dwarves living in a cave. What the F are you doing, man? Well, first off, that's how the original story is written by the Brothers Grimm, who are the most famous fairy tale storytellers of Germanic heritage. That's how it's written. And when they wrote it, if you go back and read the original Snow White, what you'll find is that these are supposed to be mythological creatures, like mythological dwarves who live in mountainsides and mine gems. These are not supposed to be. These are not supposed to be like little people, like actually today. Which, by the way, this is Peter Dinklage. If you're talking about somebody representing stereotypical, like effing backwards stereotypes, here's Peter Dinklage. He got a paycheck for that. Peter Dinklage goes on to say in another interview, and I thought this was hysterical, not to get too political about it, but there are stereotypes that still exist. Dwarf tossing still exists. There are still people of my size dressing up as elves at Christmas time. Dude, you starred in a movie called Elf, where you actually did a scene where you beat up Will Ferrell in Elf because he called you an elf. That's the scene. This is the scene. You agreed to the angry elf scene, as it is called in the movie. We can't show you the clip because it's copyright. You agreed to do this scene. There, you apparently you signed this piece of memorabilia. Here you go. That's you in a scene where they're making fun of Christmas elves. You got a paycheck for that. So what Peter Dinklage is saying is that nobody else should get paychecks for these roles other than me. I am the only person. You should clone me 7 times and I should get all these roles. Selfish. Dude, like selfish. He should be called out for this. And now what are we left with? What we're left with is 7 dwarves who look like 7 individuals who are sleeping on the streets of Portland and who smell like piss. That's what we're getting. The multicultural, normal, average people, as Wee Man would call it. So wokeness destroys everything. These people have every right to be calling out. These individuals have every right to be calling out Peter Dinklage. Tommy Lahren saying that this is a joke. They only have one little person playing a dwarf to be politically correct. And this is, of course, sparked controversy, along with Rachel Ziegler, who is out harping that Snow White no longer needs a prince. Oh, man. Just an absolute embarrassment. Disney is saying that they consulted with members of the dwarfism community. Oh, okay. Is that the way you call it? Call it little people? Is that offensive? They're not even able to like win over like liberal TikTokers. This is like fascinating to me. There are actual TikTokers that are like on the side, like on Disney, like apparent, like on Disney's side technically about all this, and they are blowing the company up. You're not If you try and please everyone, it's the Bud Light rule of life. If you try and please everyone, you will end up pleasing no one and destroying yourself.
We have our first look at Disney's new version of Snow White, and instead of the 7 dwarves, they're doing the 7 magical creatures. In an effort to be inclusive and not controversial and not be divisive, they've only hired one little person and the rest are just normal, regular people. What I find so ironic about this is, instead of hiring these little people who could have used the work and who could have gotten paid and don't have many roles in Hollywood, they decided not to be inclusive. It's like the diversity and equity stuff has gone so far, it's like the snake going around and eating itself. They've forgotten that these little people probably could have used the work. And honestly, this is not giving Snow White. This is giving hipster from Brooklyn. And this guy, he looks like he's about to rob an Urban Outfitters Disney. And what's with all of this rope? I thought this was Snow White, not 50 Shades of Grey. I really think Disney just should have hired the little people. I don't know who's calling the shots over there. The fact of the matter is they've lost $900 million on their last few releases, so they got to go back to the drawing board and get it together. Maybe this writer's strike will be a time for reckoning. Now, the new Snow White is being played by Rachel Zegler, who's a beautiful Colombian-American actress. I will say the outfit is giving very much Spirit Halloween. Disney, I know your budget is struggling, but this? I think it's also important to point out that Hollywood has no original ideas. They just keep rewriting and redoing ideas from the past, like Little Mermaid and now Snow White. And look, guys, I know it's silly we're talking about all this when we're literally on the brink of World War III, but these are cultural issues going on here at home, and we gotta talk about it. And don't get me wrong, I'm the type of person who thinks everyone should see themselves represented in media. Every kid out there should be able to turn on the TV or a movie at some point and see themselves no matter what color, where they're from, what religion, etc. But I don't see how these characters could be inspiring or interesting to kids. I mean, Snow White was supposed to be whimsical and fun, and these characters look like grown adults. I don't know what kids are gonna see and be happy about. Anyway, thank you guys for liking and following. Drop some comments. Tell me how you feel about this new Snow White remake. How do you feel about all these movies being redone from the past in lieu of just writing new content? And one more thing I have to say is if you're watching out there and you're short, you're tall, you're black, you're white, you're male, you're female, you are beautiful. No matter if you see yourself represented in a movie or a show, what you see in the mirror is much more important and you have value. So I love you guys. Bye.